Welcome to the Find Your Shine Again podcast. I'm Maximilian Messler, your host and transformational expert. Each episode features inspiring journeys of real people overcoming life's challenges, emerging stronger, more resilient, and happier. My philosophy: transformation can be rapid and profound. I've discovered on my own journey that so much more is possible when we harness the power of our mind, an untapped potential within us all beyond imagination. And today I'm super excited to introduce my very special guest, Dr. Jana Nirvana. With a PhD in history, she's also an international artist and author, and her journey of transformation is deeply inspiring as she shares her story about breaking down walls, discovering her true authentic potential, and opening up to a life of love and abundance. So please join me in welcoming Jana. Jana, it's such a pleasure to have you here with us today. To start, could you share a bit more about who you are and what you do with our listeners?
Yes. So, hi, Maximilian. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for having me. Yes. So, about myself, I'm going through very exciting time. I'm in the midst of a transformation, very deep transformation. Actually, as you said, I was for a long time in the academia, working as a historian, doing research on history of 20th century on the University of Hanover. And yeah, I've given lectures, scientific lectures, published books. And in the Corona time, what happened is that I had an awakening moment when I realized that art is what I love to do, and it helps me be free, feel free, even under the most impossible pressure from outside. And yeah, I actually have decided to quit completely the academia this year in April and became a full-time artist and author. So, yeah.
Wow, actually, I get goosebumps when you just told me about this because it's incredible. So many of us follow a path of a corporate career world or a scientific career world until many of us realize it doesn't really fulfill our purpose, our authentic selves in what we really want to bring to the world and how we experience freedom and joy. And making this decision is so huge to really move towards your dream life. And that's already so empowering in itself. So thank you so much for introducing yourself. I'm sure already everybody who's listening will be intrigued by the rest of your journey, which is also, I mean, obviously so exciting. So what's currently going on in your life, to start on a really amazing side, and what's happening right now? What great things are currently going on in your life?
Yeah, so many. So, um, I have recently been in the US for my first exhibition in New York, in Manhattan. So that was hilarious. And even before that, I was in Dallas for a Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat, a week long. So I'm just full of energy, high vibrating. And yeah, I'm going to make another exposition in New York.
Wow, congratulations. So when will that be?
That will be in November, end of November. And yeah, the exhibition is called Fragments of Infinity. Yeah,
That
and
sounds really
I'm
good.
preparing another art show, a solo art show in London at the end of this month, combined with the charity event, where I will donate a painting for a food bank in London for the Shine charity, which is yeah, Shine is such a great person, a pure soul, helping people in need. And yeah, they urgently need support, they need a van. So I thought it's a great thing, yeah, to balance. I'm so grateful with all this success, and I am blessed to have found a place in London Barbican to yeah, do this solo show. And just yesterday, I got the keys for my new art studio.
That's so exciting. So many great news.
Yeah. And yeah, so just right from this podcast, I will go straight there and arrange. And I'm just like, "Ooh, I love it. My place. I can't wait to paint." And I have also started a new book project
Wow. Wow.
where we will, with another author, a friend of mine,
Mhm.
we will publish book with contributions from successful women artists all over the world. So I'm very excited about this. And yeah, mm, the rest I can't remember now.
That's a lot, Jana. I'm excited. I'm thrilled for you. So many incredible things happening in your life right now, being in this high vibration. And you know, when you overflow with energy, obviously you can also contribute and give back from a place of fullness rather than when we try to be there for others, but we cannot really do it in a good way because also our energy level isn't even that high. So that's so, so amazing. And obviously, when we, started to work with each other, there was also a point in time when you felt there's something I want to address in my life. And it was also about, walls, it was about the heart and allowing more love and abundance into your life. And I personally can remember because when I was 9 years old, lost my mother. I had this really traumatic experience, and my heart really got a wall and it built up a really high wall. So, for a really long time in my life, I really wasn't fully able to let all the love and abundance into my life. And I may be still working on making this wall even lower, but obviously now it's already really low. So I am able to be here and share also what I do with the world. Um, what is the or what was the moment when you realized you actually want to start to address something that kept you stuck, or maybe sometimes we realize um, there's a part in us that still keeps us a bit stuck or locked and not enabling us to go into our full potential. Can you talk about a time when you noticed like there was something that's blocking you?
Yeah, I mean, of course, there were many times when I experienced traumatic things. So I think this is a continuous process because it took many years till we have built these walls up and all these layers around us to actually, with the good purpose to protect ourselves from being hurt, right? So it takes also time to put these layers off, and it's like an onion, you know, the peels go each after each other.
Yeah.
So I would say that the freeing process started already in my mid 20s when I had a burnout. And actually, I thought I had a heart attack. It was such a severe pain, but I had like a shoulder syndrome, and it was. became kind of a stress thermometer.
Mm,
Whenever I had stress, the shoulder started hurting. And what helped me was like not scholar medicine. It was a combination of different approaches. So in different times of my life, there are different approaches that resonate with me. First of all, my healing journey, what one could call the spiritual part, started with a friend who introduced me into actually self hypnosis,
mm,
because the realization everything is actually a hypnotic state
mm,
um, took quite some years for me to understand, because we are running in programs or behaviors patterns that we have absorbed from our environment, parents or friends or teachers, important people.
mm,
And when we are young, we don't question this, but when you have like a breakdown moment or some crisis, you start questioning those things, and they're like layers that you can start peeling off. So I have tried many different things. Very powerful is meditation and um, a clearing process, I would say,
mm,
to um, have the courage to face what is there and accept it and let it go. And for that, you have to feel it also. You have to allow the pain to come up.
yes.
And that's the thing where most people fail, because they don't want to feel that pain again. So they put another layer, like a thicker wall and a thicker wall. And they actually, um, with through this wall, are separated from their true self, that is only love. Yeah.
I have another goosebumps moment. Wow, you put this in words so wonderfully, Jana. Thank you so much. And I think also what you say, having different stages in your life where different sorts of healing start to happen, it's just showing how normal and natural it is also for us, right? It's not this usually one moment, but oftentimes when we have a major crisis, like a breakup, like a stress response in burnout, like you've mentioned, like a sort of a panic attack when your heart felt so racing that it sort of felt it's actually a heart attack. And I can relate so much because I had the same exact feeling of having the thought I have a heart attack because my heart was just overreacting so much due to a lot of stress that I was having. And these were moments when also I started to question things. So, whenever there's a crisis, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, it's an opportunity to look into what's going on and to challenge these layers. Like you said, the programs that have been installed into us because it's not who we are, it's been programs and therefore behaviors we sort of adapted. And then oftentimes when we don't get challenged with these patterns, we don't even realize that they keep us stuck and away from our true authentic self, like you said, which is basically love and fullness in every aspect of our life. So peeling the layers away from the onion is so crucial. And this is resilience, right? And because also this podcast is always about empowering people that humans are resilient beings. They can always get up again and peel another layer, right? And continue the process of unbecoming, like you say, cleansing. It's
Mm.
really a cleansing. It's the cleansing of the limiting beliefs, the emotions that were still stuck within us. And
Yes,
it's
it's
so
a
empowering.
loving act, self-loving act. Yeah. Mm.
And when you shared the crucial part, and I felt this was so true, is to allow the pain to be felt in order to release it. Can you share maybe with the audience, maybe some still struggle or are afraid, to allow the pain to come up? What would you share and what would you say helped you to allow this process in order to really heal and overcome then the emotion to let it go?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, it's like a memory that is saved in your body, in your cells. So it takes a lot of energy when it's kind of stuck there from you. And if you allow yourself to live a self-fulfilled life, to be self-loving, um, it will just come up. It will come up, and you can observe it, not go into it, like identify another time yourself with it, but just observe, oh, there it is. There it is. I see that Jana or that me went through this and that. And yeah, that hurts. And just let it be there. Let it be there and feel it without identifying yourself deeply with it, and making kind of another time, another drama out of it.
Yeah.
Just breathe, stay calm, and let it be there. Meditate or do whatever helps you to release it. It's like a child. You have to let it go to the school or there, or you cannot hold on to it all the time. That's not loving.
That's true. Beautiful perspective. Thank you so much. And in RTT, in rapid transformational therapy, we have this process where we first go and investigate in what is the root cause of a block, for example, why we feel maybe disconnected with ourselves, or why we have maybe a hard time to allow love and a healthy relationship or abundance in whatever form that is into our lives. So we really look and investigate, and then we make an interpretation because we understand, oh, as a child, I made a certain belief. And when we understand we made this belief as a child, we can then understand it differently because now we look at it as an adult and we see the whole perspective of the situation, and then we can interrupt the pattern and then install something new, and that's more positive and more powerful. And because you've also experienced the power of RTT, when was the moment in time when you decided, I want to actually go and experience an RTT session for myself? Where were you and what was going on when you decided, I'm going to do this?
Well, I think I was in a moment where I felt, with these collective meditations that I do and the formula and um, the collective. When you meditate in a collective, is a very high energy that's bearing you. And I saw in my heart there is still like a wall, and this is an individual thing that I can work on myself on my own. And yeah, I mean, then this possibility popped up with you. So that's definitely a synchronicity. So I just follow what the universe is giving me. And like the library principle, you can go in the library and study each book side by side, or you can just let your intuition, hence the universe, decide and pick up just what is right for you at that moment. So that's how it happened. And um, I felt, really, I saw like myself as a child and all this pain that was um, um, really deep, really deep in anchored, and this memory was still in my heart. So it helped me to to free it, feel it, and then free it and let it go. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing this. And also, I love the picture with going to the library, letting the intuition, the universe guide you and allowing yourself to be guided. I think that's even the first step. So it's so wonderful. And what would you say describing the session? How would you tell it to someone who hasn't experienced it yet? How was it? What do you recall? It's been a while now, obviously,
Mm.
since you did the session, but if you think of it, what would you tell a person about it from your own perspective and how you experienced it?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of strange feeling, because it's like, for me it was, I went to my childhood, right? So there was me sitting here, and there was me as the hurt child, and I was perceiving it on a subconscious and a conscious level at the same time. So that was a very powerful experience, definitely. And I mean, I cried so bad, everything went out, and it was really liberating, to yeah, to set these memories and these stored emotions in my body free. So yeah, very strong experience.
And how was it afterwards? How did you experience the time after the session? Because the session itself is around 2 hours, right? It's a deep process. But how is it after you were able to free those stuck emotions from the body? How did you realize there was this process of releasing, and how was that for you?
Mm, well, I can't remember in detail, but I remember that um, the things that I have envisioned in my meditations um, became then even deeper, that I saw like these walls breaking down and going in the deepest core of my heart. So it definitely helped me. It definitely helped me to um, get on another dimensional level in what I was doing anyway to heal,
Yeah.
and was very supportive in that process.
And how would you say, where could you realize or understand that this deep wall that you had before and the emotions that were stuck now were being freed and being released? How did that ripple out into your life? What sort of other experience did you make in your personal life, in your career life? Obviously, you do a lot to work on yourself, to heal
Hmm.
this process, but how did you realize, oh wow, I see, I feel, I experienced this shift?
There are so many things going on, but I think one important realization was to understand that this wall was set up to protect me, right? And that what served me as a child does not serve me today anymore. And just this process of feeling this, understanding, it's actually about self forgiveness, forgiving myself for holding on to this for so long, by a need to protect myself from hurt, and understanding that yes, this might protect you from hurt, but it also kind of locks you away from life, from all the good things too. Yeah.
So true, so true. And I think, like you mentioned, to realize, oh, this pattern, this wall, it's actually there because it has a reason. and to have this deeper understanding, that it actually wanted to serve you in a really positive way helps you then also in the process of freeing it because you have a more compassionate insight into what's the background and the cause of this, right? Because we do the RFPI in RTT, the role, the function, the purpose, and intention to really deeply understand what's the issue behind the issue. And so this insight itself is already a breakthrough moment, I would say. Would you
Yes.
agree?
And it's also a self-loving act because following the path on which I am, um, uh, it requires energy, right? So when you allow yourself to let these memories to set them free, this energy that was used to put these walls up is then available for other things, right? That are much more constructive and beautiful and loving to yourself.
Yes.
So that's what I would say in the biggest gain,
Yeah.
that you free energy and you can transform it into something that serves your new self that you are today. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. And after such a powerful session and the transformation, some people might experience, a first momentum, but then struggle to keep it going. And maybe some experience falling back into old patterns, or at least they come up and you become conscious of it. What would you say helped you in the process, to keep this momentum going? Because for you now, it feels like a wave you are riding.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm floating through space, definitely. And what helps me to keep my vibes high is meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah, every morning I meditate and I participate also in groups and do things that feel good to me. Like it's warm, I like to go swimming, I like to go a walk, have deep conversations with friends, paint, write, do just things that normally you would not allow yourself to do because you have, to do this job and this and that. And it's like this kind of societal pattern, that was given to you, like you have to be really disciplined and um, work and be severe somehow with yourself, and that's not loving. I mean, of course I work, but work does not have to be a form of slavery. You can help the world contribute with things that you love also. Yeah.
Beautiful. And I think many, many people who are listening right now will resonate so deeply with this, what you just shared, because work so oftentimes feels like you're contained in a small cage because we're in a container that's been developed by a society um, on habits and subconscious beliefs that weren't really free, but they were limited, right? So when you allow yourself to step into your unlimited, authentic self and you contribute with this because you share your passions, your gifts that you were born with, you express them, you will light up not yourself only, but also the people around you, and you give the allowance for others too, right? Because they feel, wow, she did that. She was following her path, her heart, her desires, and she's successful with it in the layer how you want to identify success. But living a happy, energetic life will naturally bring in more opportunities, more money, more relationships. What's your take on that?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's self-development journey and self-discovery, and um, I think that that's our job, to take control of your thoughts and your feelings and go into the places where you want to be. Like I think and talk and feel what I want, not what I do not want. And that's a very deep insight, um, because we are the creators of our life. And I start creating everything in my mind and in my heart. So when I'm loving to myself, I create things that serve me and my surrounding.
Yeah.
Of course, it's in a society where actually the opposite is being presented and teach to you. It's a challenge, you know. So every day you have to stand up and consciously decide that's who I want to be, and that's what I'm gonna do, and just jump out of the bed and have fun.
Absolutely. And I think that's what we all want, right? To get up in the morning and be like, it's an exciting day. To choosing today is a great day because I follow the path that's actually my authentic path. Because otherwise, there will be the strings from society that will drag you in every direction. But that's why it's so important to really consciously decide and be strong enough internally to
Yes.
decide to stay on your lane and not to be torn into many other areas that will just drag you out of what's really your true
And
self.
also, you know, when you fall back, don't feel guilty about it. It's human. I think that's also very important. I mean, we have all days when it's just harder or
Yes.
something happens. So that's okay. It's okay. Just don't dwell in it for years or weeks, you know, just let it pass and accept and surrender and focus on what you want.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. Wow. I love talking to Jana. It's so
Same
empowering.
here.
And it's just, it's, it's possible. It's possible because what would you tell the Jana from maybe 5 or 10 years ago, looking and seeing where you are now, on this high energetic path, following your true self and your passions? What would you tell your younger version when you know where you're standing right now? What advice would you give her?
I would tell her I love you so much. Man, you're so strong. But you don't have to fight that bad. You know, you can just chill a little bit, and actually it doesn't matter, you know, if you get this or that result. What matters is that you're good to yourself, so you can take even one more nap and go swimming.
I love that. That's so beautiful. Because it's caring, it's
Mhm.
loving, and so many of us learned to be so hard on ourselves and critical and harsh and judgmental, even not because we naturally are born this way, but because we grew up in an environment, in a society that projected this onto us. But going back to this self-care, self-love, what brings you that little bit of joy and allow it to yourself. It's freeing and it's unlocking again
Mhm.
who you really are, right?
Yes, definitely. And I mean, it feels much better. So, yeah.
Definitely. So that's so inspiring, Jana, and I could go on and on. What would you say if somebody is listening to this and they feel they're stuck in an area of their life, they have some
Mm.
walls up and they're thinking, I'm not sure, what to do about it. Maybe they meditated before, maybe they try things, but maybe they also are looking into other methods like RTT. What advice would you give them, knowing what you are knowing now?
Yeah, I mean, you can do 1 million of things. There is so much out there. The world needs healing. People are awakening. So, of course, it is important to see in which place you are right now, and just trust that the right thing will come to you. Look out there. I mean, meditating is never wrong. You can do RTT with you, or you can just go paint with me. You can do thousands of things, and you can simply decide, to be well. You can set this intention. I want to be well. I want to be loving to myself. I want to heal that issue. And then these things will come to you. If it's genuine from your heart, the universe will support it.
Yes, absolutely. And I don't even want to say it, but I had a little another goosebumps moment. So it's true. I totally agree. There's so many options out there, but go along the path that resonates, because whenever you feel that excitement, whenever you feel drawn into a certain direction, it normally speaks for itself, that that's a path, an option that's actually beneficial to you and that's supported. And also, I did like when you said, anyhow, decide, you will always come along this journey, and whatever you decided to do it with self-love and compassion.
Mhm.
So that's the most important part in general. Whatever you decide, do it with compassion and self-love, and then the rest will be guided and supported and cannot really be a wrong
And
decision.
don't give up. Don't give up when the challenging moments comes, when dark thoughts come or feelings, just push yourself through.
No,
Don't believe everything you think and feel.
no, totally. I totally agree with you. But sit with it, allow it, and let it go.
Yeah, exactly. And get help. If you
Yeah.
need support, get help.
Exactly. Because for me personally, for a long time, I felt, I have to address and deal with everything on my own. And,
Mm,
you can go a certain distance on your own, but sometimes the path is a territory that's really not well known for you, right? Because you haven't dealt with these topics with, the childhood so much. And I think when you go on a deeper layer, for me personally, it's helped me a lot to have someone, a guide, to guide you along this path. You need to walk on your own always,
mm,
it's not really an opportunity to hitchhike,
yeah.
but you need to walk, but have someone on your side that will help you, that will open a space for you to move through that in a much more convenient way. You could say, I will go to Mount Everest on my own, but you could say, actually, I feel more comfortable being with a guide who knows the route and will get me
Mm.
there safely, with less inconvenience, is obviously more compelling and more self-loving, I would say.
Definitely, I mean, and more clever because you cannot invent the whole world, but you can learn from others that have already invented and experienced and mastered
Yeah.
stuff, so they can teach you, and it's much, much easier. I mean, when you go to school, you learn from teachers the alphabet, you don't go and start inventing new letters. Doesn't make so much sense. Of course, you can combine, these things from different masters. That's what I love to do, that I combine different techniques and then do what really is the best for me. Like, a mixture of
Yeah,
different approaches, techniques, methods, and yeah, I cook my own meal. Yeah.
exactly. Being playful, like you say, you can have a
Mhm.
recipe, but then also allowing yourself to be playful with it brings out what makes uniquely you. Like, you combine the art into your work. And I also did the session with you, and for me it was
Yes.
amazing because you work on emotions, not
Hmm.
so much on the level of talking about it, but being creative with it. And that's so, so powerful because it sets something free within you.
Yeah.
Maybe you cannot even express in words because sometimes it's hard to find the right
Mm.
words, or it's just too complicated even. But with a creative kind of work, it's allowing you to let that things move out of you and through you in a really amazing way. And I think creativity is also something that's really connected with like who we are as souls, as energetic beings, whatever you want to name it or frame it, being who we are is a creative energy. So I think it's also tapping into the source of this essence of who we are. So that's why I also love so much what you do with your work in yeah.
Thank you. Yes, I mean, it's this thing about allowing the pain to come up. When you are in a creative state, like when you're painting, it's much easier because then kind of you have occupied your mind, and the space is freed for the pain or whatever is there to come up. And we cannot express it always in words. There are no words for the deepest feelings that can be stored in us. So it's a very liberating experience for the people when they paint with me, just to have a space, a safe space where these things can come up without being judged. And I love to do these sessions because it's an energetic exchange always. It's not just giving, it's also for me receiving. So it's a very deeply healing process. Yeah.
Beautiful. And I love what you share. It's the exchange of energy. That's always happening, and allowing yourself to experience this is so important, and tapping into what's available, because sometimes these options are available to us but we don't actually use them. So I would encourage anyone who's listening, try things out. Just try and experience whatever you resonate with. And nowadays you have so many options, whatever you want to do. If you want to meditate, you can go on YouTube. If you want to do it, inner child healing hypnosis, it's available. It's also available on my channel. If you want to experience, art and transforming with art, you can, work with Jana. It's so many things out there. Just really go for it and decide, I'm unlocking myself and I'm unbecoming what I'm not. Is
Mhm.
I think the journey of our lives. For me personally, I think what the life mission isn't to build a house or to create an empire. It's basically to unlock who you truly are. And while you do this, you will create an amazing life for yourself and for others. And that's, I think, the most purposeful life a person could live. And I think it's because I also work with elderly people from 65 to
Mm.
99. And
Wow.
looking back on your life, you want to look back living a rich life, a life you've taken the opportunities and you weren't blocked and hiding behind walls. So I think we both are in the business of breaking down walls, you could
Yeah.
say. So yeah, Jana, your journey is so inspiring, and seeing you glow, seeing you so radiant, so full of energy. It's also for me such a blessing and makes me feel so happy and excited. And so many who might be listening might still be hiding behind some walls, blocks, and patterns that don't allow them yet to live this life. So being able to express themselves so fully, and experience therefore the love, the abundance they want to live and they want to have in their life. And what's the thing you would give our listener right now who's listening to this podcast? What would you say they can begin to opening themselves up to this abundance? What's the first thing right now you would say they should start?
Hmm. Maybe, I mean, it's a complex process, right? So saying just one thing is not so easy, but I think a good question you can ask yourself is this truly loving to myself? Staying stuck in a place, always um supercharging the pain, with energy. So, what what would be loving to me right now? Like, go have a walk, or just quit those thoughts, or I don't know, call my friend and go to cinema or something. What would be loving to me? Just start right where you are right now. You don't have, like you said, to build an empire. Just what would be a loving action that I could do right now for myself?
I love that. It's beautiful, it's empowering. What would be a loving action I can do for myself right now? And it's now, right? Because sometimes we
Mhm.
think so much in the future, but it's always in the end in the right now. So if we change this moment and if we act more loving in the right now, we open up to a more loving future. And I mean, I think that's so powerful. So I need to encourage everyone to listen to this end moment because it sounds so simple, but if we ask ourselves different questions, we get different answers and we get different experiences in our lives. So I want to say thank you so much, Jana,
Thank
for
you.
being so open, so honest, so vulnerable, and so definitely amazingly inspirational. For me, I got so excited during the whole conversation. Anything else you want to share with our listeners to finish up this conversation?
I mean, asking yourself these questions, what would be loving to myself? What can I do that would be fulfilling for myself right now? It can become a habit just in the same way as complaining and, all that other negative behaviors. So up to you which habits you establish in your life. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jana. And I encourage everyone to go and give Jana a follow on her social media and check out her website just to stay in touch with this amazing, inspirational content and person that you are. So just if you want to share, how can our listeners find you and stay in touch with you?
Yes, so my webpage is jananirvana.com. And actually, there is also a giveaway where you can do free 15-minute painting session with me to get an idea what it is about. You can have a look on my paintings, come to my art shows all around the world. And yeah, I work also on commission. If you need support in your place energetically, I create energy art on commission. So just get in touch with me. Best is via email, info@jananirvana.com, and I'll be glad to support you.
Thank you so much. That's incredible. So definitely everyone go and check it out. Have a 15-minute experience and enjoy the process of being creative and experience the transformation of art. And yeah, it's always a pleasure for me to provide, you with this amazing insights of my guest speakers and who experienced the transformation also of RTT and the power that's helping them to unlock even more of their potential. And there's so much potential within us all, also within you. If you're listening right now, I believe in you and I know you have the power to transform your life massively. So I'm also here and available. Go check out my free resources on my internet channels, social media, and I love to have you on the next episode of the Find Your Shine Again podcast. So thank you for tuning in, and remember, no matter what challenges you face, you have the power within you to overcome adversity and live the life of your dreams. So thank you so much and have a
My
wonderful
pleasure.
day.